And His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, accompanied by a high-powered delegation, is left for New York. And President Barrow will join world leaders for the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly, scheduled for Tuesday, 19th September 2017, with the theme, Focusing on People, Striving for Peace and a Decent Life for All on a Sustainable Planet. And the President was seen off at the Banjul International Airport by the Vice President Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, service chiefs and members of the diplomatic and consular corps. And the National Technical Working Group on Security Sector Reform is currently on a countrywide consultative tour with stakeholders, and as we hear in this report by H.M. Silva, the move is sanctioned by President Barrow following the official launch of the security sector reform.
Delegation headed by the new National Security Advisor Mamadou Badji already has its journey cut out.
The purpose of coming here is to consult with the populace and then get their opinions and their views as to how they also perceive the security services that is rendered to them. So we feel that, when we want to have a very good and effective security sector reform, we must involve the people.
The team's first port of call was at the North Bank region, an area with an increasing number of reported cases of armed robbery.
It's a very, very serious concern. People are worried. People are concerned. My people are apprehensive of what is happening around. This is not the first time. It has happened, in fact, not twice, but 3 times. You remember Bara was attacked. Swarekunda was also attacked of late. And also Kerpati.
Governor Damfa and Chief Jim Fatma Joub of Jokadu wanted government to empower the security outfits there in order to rise to the challenges facing them. The two parties unanimously agreed on that. Nonetheless, they admonished the sector itself to break down the barriers of tribal and or political affiliation.
This is absolutely important. It is very essential that Gambians realize that we have no other place apart from the Gambia. We have no other people who should come together apart from ourselves. And nobody can develop the Gambia for us. We have to come together. And the earlier we realize that we are one and the same, we must forgive and forget.
This, the National Assembly member of Lower Badibo, Alaji Jawla, said is the cause of the waning credibility of the security sector. The technical working group took note and reaffirmed its commitment to make amends in the sector to avoid a repeat of the past.
The taxpayers' funds is what is used to pay the security. Security, yes, they may be there in uniforms, but at the end of the day, it is the civilian authority that is important. So foremost, I would want as an NSA to see an outfit, military, police, name it, all security to be under the control and to be under control and accountable to the civilian authority.
Adding their voices to the previous speakers, Ada Juf and Duduke Sedi called for a more cordial relations with the security services, especially in the areas of community policing. The two believe that collaboration with the men and women in uniform is needed now more than ever to eliminate ongoing criminal activities around town. They also urge government to consider repealing certain punitive laws that may contradict human rights laws, such as the death penalty. The security reform agenda was jointly funded by the United Nations, African Union, European Union, and ECOWAS. It is intended to create a more professional and competent security workforce that is loyal to the nation and accountable to its citizens. Meanwhile, participants at the gathering in Kerewan hope their numerous concerns will be captured in the final report of the technical working group. Etienne Silva, GRTS News.
And elsewhere, the Nyani Sami Diaspora Association is the latest to reach out to flood victims in Kuntaur. An association donated $85,000 to Kuntaur and $10,000 to Oba Salum, who are also said to have been affected by the floods. Kumaba tells us more.
Donations in response to flood disasters that recently affected households and families in Kintauru continue to arrive in the Central River town, which was badly affected by the impact of torrential downpours. The latest delivery comes from the Nyani Sami Diaspora Association. Visiting first in Kintauru, the association presented a sum of $85,000 as their contribution to mitigation and disaster relief efforts.
So today they have presented $85,000 in cash to Kintauru victims, and we are very happy about it because at least they can put it somewhere else, but it is a concern to them and they have bring it here, and we have really been happy about it, and their gesture is highly welcome.
Established years ago with the aim of promoting unity and fostering understanding between the people of Nyani and Sami, the association continues to contribute meaningfully to community development in the hinterland.
No, the focus area is to develop Sami and Nyani, if possible the entire country, because almost everybody is part of this organization.
The National Assembly member for Sami, Alfuseni Sise, expressed joy over the huge response the people of Kintauru have received in what was a difficult period for them.
We are very pleased to come here and present it to them, and definitely the people are very happy. They definitely welcome.
The committee also affirmed their commitment and assured donors that the items delivered will be shared among the affected victims.
We want to assure them that it will definitely meet their targets, because we know the donors, that's their aims and objectives. Whatever is brought in is for assistance, so that it can go to the beneficiaries, and that's what we endeavor to do.
Presenting the cause on behalf of the association, Ajibin Tejabi said reaching out to vulnerable communities is a fundamental part of their agenda. She called on the people to unite and work in unity towards a better Gambia. Speaker after speaker all expressed similar sentiments for the laudable gesture, saying this demonstrated unity which is much needed for progress. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Kumaba.
The National Association of Gambian Nurses and Midwives has organized its annual general meeting, and the AGM brought together nurses and midwives across the country to discuss issues related to the advancement of the group. Famara Kanye reports.
We have more nurses now than ever before. But the question I ask, and I have been vindicated by the principal of the Gambia College School of Nursing and Midwifery, do we get the quality we are aspiring for our patients? This is the thing we should work towards, to move from quantity to quality.
Director of Health Services Dr. Mamadi Cham addressing a cross-section of nurses and midwives at an annual general meeting. A general assembly of this magnitude is a moment of reflections for the National Association of the Gambian Nurses and Midwives, and the positives registered over the years as well map out new regulations to boost the standards of the country's health sector. The president of the association, RC, profoundly hailed the Gambian nursing fraternity for their strides in keeping a healthy Gambia.
We need to advance the nursing and midwifery profession. How do we do that? Is championing, and it is us, like I said. Our collaboration. How do we come together to form one voice, to be one?
The population of the country's nursing fraternity is on the increase, with more qualifying as state-registered nurses from the Gambia College and the University of the Gambia. The national umbrella body for nurses and midwives is contributing immensely to meet the standards for a better healthcare service delivery. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famara Khan.
And dozens of volunteers Saturday embarked on a massive cleanup exercise on the beaches of the coastal village of Tangi. And the exercise was organized by Kumbo South Association for Development and Environmental Protection in collaboration with the National Environment Agency. Ibrahim Jallo tells us more.
This is said to be a serious environmental problem. A combination of solid and liquid waste is seizing the serenity and originality of the coastline around here. And as officials put it, these things should be put out in good time, because beaches are important and valuable communities for the tourism sector. In fact, many tourists are said to have chosen the Gambia for holidays due to the serenity and beautiful beaches that the country has.
The Tangi coastline, where this garbage has been indiscriminately littered, is among the main landing points for fishing boats in the country.
The Alcala of Tangi and the chairperson of the Village Development Committee, Lamin Bojang and Lebo Mane, respectively, said the littering remains a concern to the community, despite holding a series of community sensitizations on the issue.
We are affected, so we are just urging the area council and the municipalities all to come to our aid so that we can just get rid of this dump site and then go and dump it at the proper dump site.
People should consider their environment at utmost or to the maximum level. If the environment is protected, people will be protected.
The deputy chairperson of COSADEP, Dr. Juve, said the exercise is informed by the objectives of the association.
Our coastal belt of Combo South is a little bit affected, and we see to it that we have to at least take a giant step to make sure that the coastal belt of Combo South is completely clean.
Lamin Koma, Senior Program Officer on Coastal and Marine Environment at NEA, said his agency has laid down plans, including periodic cleansing exercises, to ensure a conducive environment for all.
Millions of tons of garbage are washed on shore. This is because of our own activities. We put those garbage there because the ozone is very, very clean. Anything it doesn't want, it brings it back to us. So when that happens, the beach becomes very hazardous, or it becomes unenvironmental to our own health. So at the level of the agency, which is National Environment Agency, we have put in place measures to mitigate such.
The governor of West Coast Region, Ibrahim Ampalo, welcomed the move as he cited the importance of environmental cleanliness to the public.
It's a remarkable day. The cleansing of ozone is one thing. It is part of the environmental cleaning, health and environment. It is really important in our life, and it contributes a lot towards our development.
Maria Masonko is a resident of Tangi.
It is not hygienic because people work here, sell food here, people sell their fish here, so the place should be very clean.
In his speech on this year's World Ozone Day delivered on Saturday, the Minister of the Environment, Climate Change and National Resources, Lamin Diba, stated some of the negative impacts of environmental damage and that of the ozone layer.
The phase out of controlled uses of ozone depleting substances and related reduction have not only helped protect the ozone layer, but have also contributed significantly to global efforts in addressing climate change. Furthermore, it has protected human health and ecosystems by limiting the harmful ultraviolet radiation reaching the earth.
Meanwhile, organizers of Saturday's clean-up exercise are poised to continue embarking on this form of selfless service towards the upkeep of a decent environment. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
Meanwhile, as part of celebrations marking International Day for the Preservation of the Ocean Layer, Green Up Youth Association has gathered stakeholders to launch Green Up 1 Million, a national youth-led tree planting campaign that advocates the protection of the environment. Khadijatu Jallo has more.
Green Up, according to officials, successfully planted more than 10,000 seedlings across the country under the project Green Up 10,000 Trees. Omar Mamo Sambu and Sekou Suare Jabai of Green Up dilated on some of their challenges and success stories during the past year.
It has been talk of the town as far as social media is concerned, in terms of raising awareness and making the idea of tree planting attractive. And more passionately for me is the fact that we did a lot of environmental advocacy during the past years.
The Executive Director Green Up, Kemo Fati, said launching Green Up 1 million trees today is another initiative that will continue to critically look into the effects of climate change and the best possible solutions that can help preserve the environment.
The reason why we launched Green Up is not actually to plant trees, but to be able to change the mind so that we can be able to see things in a broader perspective, in a different way. The growing numbers of climate refugees. Take a look at the incident in, is it Kuntaur or Kaur, the flood. Take a look at the mudslide in Sierra Leone. Take a look at Hurricane Matthews. These are not things that just appear like that and they are natural disasters. These are things that happen because we make them happen.
Driven by the slogan, from commitment to action and from action to impact, the People behind Green Up are of the belief that with commitment and positive attitudes towards the environment, the country can be protected from incidents like floods. The National Youth Council Chairman for KMC, Babukar Kebe, and ITalk Board Chair, Adam Abba, both commended Green Up for championing efforts aimed at restoring the country's lost forest cover and educating the masses on environmental preservation.
What I'm seeing here today means this country will definitely change, because we definitely need change for the better, for the people and the environment.
Lamin Jase of the Environment Group from Gunjur shared his experiences and the challenges associated with sand mining in Gunjur, the need for alternative uses of natural resources to satisfy man's needs, and the need to balance between socio-economic development and the environment also gained prominence at the launch of the Clean Up 1 Million Trees. Khadijatu Jallo, reporting for GRTS News.
And immersed in the rich culture of their forefathers, the Jalikunda Youth Association has come together to revive the culture of praising by following the footsteps of their parents. Ibrahim Cham attended the ceremony and filed this report.
Sons and daughters of our renowned griots united to lift the noble flag of praise singing and storytelling, launching their association in a colorful style. The Jalikunda Youth Association was led by the president, Lassana Jabate, who stated that the association is not politically affiliated nor tribal, but to bring all upcoming griots under one umbrella.
We want to bring all griots together to come and revive our culture. We have realized that there's a gap on national media to show the potential we have.
The Jali's performances was promising and outfits were flamboyant, traditionally showered with gifts as a form of appreciation. The Vice President Jali Wandifa Mbaye said that the youths have a lot to learn from the veterans and that the unifying culture will make them stronger.
The objective of the association is to bring all artists together. When I say artists, all griots. When I say griots, mean Gambian griots who are singing through the Gambian cultural musical way and who are also beating the Gambian instruments like kora, balafon, kama, or whatsoever.
The ceremony brought griots from all over the diaspora to give their blessings to their sons and daughters on the challenging step of inheriting what is a noble profession. Ibrahim Cham, GRTS News.
And that takes us to a break. News and sports is up next. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. And a major victory has been registered by the country's women's football team, who defeated Guinea-Bissau 2-0 at the Independence Stadium. And the long-awaited return to international football for the team saw them host Guinea-Bissau in an international friendly match. And Mamadou S. Jallo tells us more.
The Gambia's women's football team has made a winning return to international football after beating Guinea-Bissau 2-0 in a friendly international. Sunday's test game at the Independence Stadium was the Gambia's first game in international women's football since the country exited the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Azerbaijan. The game against the Bissau Guinean is to prepare the senior women's national team for the upcoming Women's African Cup of Nations qualifiers. The team is a blend of some of the surviving members of the 2012 Under-17 team and some new faces, and it was a perfect restart to their international adventure, with 2 first-half goals from Adama Tamba and Aissatou Jallow securing the Gambia a 2-0 win. Striker Adama Tamba, who is referred to as the goal machine, gave the female Scorpions an early lead from a scramble inside the box. Aissatou Jallow doubled the Gambia's lead with a brilliant header midway into the second half. The first goal might be a scramble, but the second was an absolute beauty. Mam Drame providing a superb assist with a delightful cross and finished off with an elegant header. That was a great team goal. Both teams had chances in the second half to alter the scoreline, but the game ended 2-0 for the Gambia. Coach Mariama Bomso was a happy woman at the end of the game, saluting her girls for what she described as a very good performance.
This game was really a test for this senior national team, being prepared for the upcoming competition. Guinea-Bissau side is a very good side. To my understanding, Gambia and Guinea-Bissau, we are definitely on the same level of football, because for them they are starting as we are also on the same pipeline. So definitely it's a very good test.
Her opposite number was, however, not happy with the referee, but impressed with his side's display.
La primera parte no entra, no confunde adversari. The way he played again, there is no understanding. They get a penalty inside the box, but the referee did not blow it. And the way he's playing the game, he's playing in the favor of the Gambia. He said it's a good game, there's no problem with it, and Gambia is a good team. Guinea-Bissau is also a good team.
Another test game is being lined up for Monday with the same Guinea-Bissau team taking on the Gambia's under-17 women's team, who are gearing up for the 2018 FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifiers against their equivalents from Sierra Leone in October. Momodes Jallow, GRTS Sports.
And that takes us to another break, but we'll be back with more international stories right after. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. And Uganda has signed a deal with another energy company to explore and produce the country's oil and gas resources. Amo Energy Limited, an Australia-based firm focused on discovery, development and production of oil and gas, will undertake the project and will focus operations on the parts of Uganda's oil-rich Albertine Graben region which haven't yet been explored. CGTN's Michael Baleki has more in this report.
Explore an area of more than 300 square kilometers for oil and gas over 4 years. Uganda says licensing new farms is important to ensure sustainability of the oil industry.
The issuance of the exploration license to Ama Energy Limited brings in a new player in the Uganda's oil and gas sector, and of course this was in response to the objective of the ministry in ensuring that the country's resource base, which currently stands at 6.5 billion barrels in place, is further expanded.
Ama Energy joins China's Sinopec, French firm Total, British Tullow Oil in Uganda's oil and gas sector. In the first 12 months of operation, Ama Energy Limited plans to invest close to $2 million. Ama Energy Limited comes to Uganda at a time when world oil prices are less attractive, and Uganda says the sustained low prices have affected the process of attracting new players into the Ugandan market. But Ama Energy officials say the plans by Uganda to build a refinery and export pipeline from the western Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania were the main attractions.
When the oil prices did drop some time ago, we were looking for opportunities, new opportunities that would help us build our business going forward in the longer term. And we saw the opportunity in the Albertine Graben as a very good one.
Uganda already has proven oil reserves amounting to 6.5 billion barrels, and that's with 60% of the Albertine Graben region yet to be explored. Uganda says it will be signing up another company in 3 weeks. Michael Baleke, CGTN, Kampala, Uganda.
And elsewhere, the death toll from the recent clashes in the Democratic Republic of Congo has risen to nearly 40, and that's according to the UN. Well, Congolese police and soldiers are said to have opened fire on Burundian refugees, and the refugees were protesting Friday against a plan to send them home. A warning, some of the pictures in this report are difficult to watch, and viewer discretion is advised.
Covered bodies lie on the roadside in the town of Kamanyola in eastern DRC. Scores of others who were injured are receiving treatment. One activist says the refugees were killed while